What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to be doing another how strong is this character video. I'm sure you guys must be getting tired of them at this point, or maybe you're not. I don't know. They kind of do pretty well on my channel compared to a lot of other types of videos I do, so I don't know. I'm going to try and be putting out some more like theory crafting kind of videos, or maybe just not even One Piece videos a little bit in the upcoming video, so just make sure to tune in for that. But yes, today I'm going to be talking about how strong is King, right? And we don't have that much information at all, so I'm not really putting too much weight on this. This is more of like an expectations video, like what I think he's going to be like. This was a video that was requested in my Discord. If you are not already a member, make sure to check the link in the description to the Discord. There's tons of awesome channels, like the Video Ideas channel. I check it all the time to come up with different ideas for videos. A lot of people in the Discord help me out with that, and this video is a perfect example of that. So yeah, make sure to check that out. It's a really fun time. But getting back into this video, so again, it's just going to be expectations with the little information we have. So basically, let's just go through my thing where we look at portrayal and then feats and power scaling, and then just, you know, some pieces of information we have about King so far. So, portrayal-wise, he is a top Yonko commander, and he is one that is introduced after Katakuri. So, while it's not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination, it's not too bad of an assumption that he will be stronger than Katakuri. Again, I'm not saying I assume that. It's just very likely. In a lot of shonen, especially like One Piece, the later a character is introduced, the more powerful they tend to be. That's not always true. A lot of the time it's not for sure, but a lot of the time it is true. So that is a good possibility. He is a top Yonko commander that was introduced after Katakuri, so that plays in a little bit portrayal-wise. Another interesting thing was that we saw when Jack was talking to him, Jack was pretty much acting like a complete bitch. So that was pretty interesting. Everyone enjoyed that quite a bit. I very much did as well. I mean, this guy Jack, right, he has pretty big ego. He basically thinks he's indestructible. When he found out that Dofi had been taken captive by Fujitora and Sengoku, he told his crew, all right, let's go. We're going in. We're taking down these Navy ships. And his crew's like, oh, of course you must be joking. He's like, who the hell do you think I am? So, yes, he has a pretty big ego, and we got to see that in Zoe as well. However, when he was talking to King, he basically was acting like a small child. So, I think that is a pretty good indication that King is likely a lot stronger than Jack. It's not like Jack is super crazy or anything. I think Zoro or Luffy or X-Drake or something could probably beat him. Maybe even Law. I could maybe even see Law beating Jack. However, I think that those would be pretty good battles, and if King is significantly more powerful than him, then that would be a pretty big jump in power. So there is that. That is everything I have pretty much for portrayal. In terms of feats and power scaling, all we really have is the fact that he just soloed Big Mom, so that means he is basically at least Yonko level, low Yonko level. Of course, that was a joke. I wonder how many people paused the video right there and started commenting. Hopefully none, but yeah, that was a joke. He did not solo Big Mom, but he did actually push the ship off of the top of the waterfall, I guess. It was in midair, so it probably wasn't too hard to do, but it seems like that is a lot of mass, so that maybe is a good indication of his physical strength. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, he was also midair, so he shouldn't have had too much momentum. He could end up being very fast and able to fly, so that's pretty good, I suppose. Really don't have anything on feats or power scaling, unfortunately. And then the information we have on him is he is an ancient devil fruit user. It is the Pteranodon fruit, which is very cool. It's basically a pterodactyl. Not exactly, but it's pretty similar. Interesting fact, the Pteranodon lived in the United States when it was alive, so that's pretty cool. I wonder if Oda meant anything with that. Probably not, but I do think that is a pretty cool little fact there. So he does have that fruit, which by itself seems pretty good just because it doesn't really have any disadvantages, and he can fly. And flying is really huge, and especially if his hybrid form allows him to fly, then that would be a very powerful form. I know a lot of people never take this into consideration, but I do in all of my power scaling videos and whatnot. I think that having flight is a huge advantage overall in just any given fight. It's one of the reasons I put the string fruit so high compared to others. I think it is just a huge advantage to be able to fly. So that is really important, especially if you're going to be a zone and you have a hybrid form that could fly. I think that'd be very effective. And lastly, the last thing we have on him is that he has something to do with fire. Not just is he called King the Wildfire, but when we saw him in his Pteranodon form, he had fire kind of around him, which is weird, and reminds me of Marco a lot, despite the fact that Marco's fire doesn't actually do damage. But I don't know. It was a thing that happened. He must have some kind of fire capabilities, whether it's some kind of engineering that maybe Queen came up with or something, because Queen does kind of seem like an engineer type of guy, or it's somehow a part of his devil fruit. That seems really strange to me, although it is supposed to be like a dragon model fruit, so I don't know, maybe there's something there, but I don't really understand it. But he does seem to have something to do with fire, which is generally a pretty powerful ability, so that is something worth noting. Yeah, that's basically all the information we have on him. So where am I thinking he is placed in the One Piece world then? What kind of level would I think he's on? Well, again, since we're kind of venturing into the territory of the unknown as of right now, like the top Yonko commanders, I mean, all we've really seen is Katakuri and not so much else from anyone. We've seen Ben Beckman just point his gun at Kizaru, and I think that holds a lot more weight than most people do, but that still doesn't really mean anything. What does that mean? So compared to Marco, I guess, is really a good idea. Marco and Katakuri. I would say at this point that I would probably assume that King would be in between Katakuri and Marco. Probably not dead in the middle. I would say he's probably closer to Marco than he is Katakuri. And as you guys know, I've made a lot of videos on how strong I think Marco is, and I think that he is a complete monster. So let's say that we have like Katakuri here, and we have Marco here, right? I'm going to put King right... Oh, wait. I'm going to put King, like, right here, right? So, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Marco being 5, Katakuri being 1. King would be a 4. And I'm not saying that Marco is 5 times as strong as Katakuri. I'm saying that as far as their distances, I think you know what I mean. I think you get that I'm saying that King is closer to Marco than he is Katakuri. So if not, if you think I'm saying that Marco is 5 times more powerful than King, I apologize. You're just going to have to accept that, I suppose. But that's not what I mean. But anyway, yeah, that's basically where I put him. And I think that Marco is basically Admiral level. So it's probably not too bad. I think King is going to end up being a very powerful character. I'm not exactly sure who we're going to see him fighting in Wano. I like to lean towards the idea of Zoro, but he does seem to be quite powerful. So if Zoro is able to fight King and actually defeat him, that would be outrageous. That would be very crazy. Zoro would really be on his way to making Luffy the Pirate King, and God knows where Luffy would be at that point. But Luffy probably will be stronger than King by the end of this, considering he was able to stalemate Katakuri in the last arc. And this is a lot more of a getting powerful arc than Whole Cake Island. Whole Cake Island was supposed to be a rescue mission. Wano, we are literally watching a training arc happen right now. So I think that it kind of does make sense that maybe Zoro would be able to defeat King, and Luffy will end up being even more powerful than that. I think it all makes sense. I don't think he's going to take on Kaido or anything, but I do think he will do something very important in Wano. So that's basically where I'm putting King. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Didn't think I was getting too crazy off the rails with things I was saying. I don't really think I said anything too controversial. The craziest thing a lot of people probably think is that I have Marco higher than Katakuri, but I just think that's pretty clear. So whatever on that one. If you guys did enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know what you thought about this video. If you do like that I'm doing all these different power level videos and whatnot, how strong is this character videos, tell me if you guys do like that. Want me to continue putting those out. I still will be trying to do more theory-ish kind of videos and maybe different mangas and animes and whatnot. I'm going to try and fit those in for sure. People have been asking for some Attack on Titan for 7 Deadly Sins and whatnot. 7 Deadly Sins is coming to an end right now, so I probably should start talking about that. Thank you very much for watching this far if you've made it. I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your day, a great start to your weekend, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.